Hey guys, how's it going? NGS back again for another video. Today I want to discuss with you, give my thoughts, summary, essentially a wrap-up of Nintendo's E3 2012 press conference. Now, I know what you're going to say. Neil, why do Nintendo of all people have to make us wait 3.5 months for their E3 conference when Sony, Microsoft, Ubisoft, and the rest of them had theirs in June? Elementary boys and girls, Nintendo's a very special case. Nintendo wants to make sure that whenever they're doing something, they want you to be watching. They want to be the center of attention. They want you to focus on them. So when they're playing in the sandbox all by themselves, they want to make sure that you are tuning into them kicking sand in other people's faces. So that is why they made us wait so long for a proper E3 press conference. And yes, that was a little stab towards their whatever the hell happened in June with the Wii U and the 3DS. I really don't want to talk about those conferences because they make me ashamed to be a Nintendo fan. Well, it's kind of a tie between that and E308 for Nintendo. Very disappointing, very abysmal, but that is aside us. I'm not going to do any ranting on that because I think I've done enough. Maybe a little trickle here and there. We are going to be talking about, let me just adjust this camera here. We're going to be talking about their Wii U press event, which they held earlier this morning in New York City, which I happen to live in, so I could have staked out this place and said, hey, let me touch the Wii U. And Reggie would have said yes. Why? Because I'm the goddamn Nightwing. And my body's ready as well. For crime fighting! So I'm going to split this video up into two portions. The first one is going to be detailing all of the nitty-gritty information that you guys are watching this video for, the pricing, the release date. And the second part of the video will be miscellaneous stuff, such as video game announcements, a couple of reveals that they had there, as well as other stuff pertaining to the Wii U. So let's start off with the release date. This is the one thing Nintendo came out with strong within the first couple of minutes because they knew a lot was riding on this, as you know, people were very disappointed with their last conference. So they had to come out strong and say, hey, listen, we're not here to bullshit you that much. We're not going to make you wait. So here you go. I am proud to announce that the Nintendo Wii U console will be launching in the Americas this fall, November 18th. At this point, it's kind of self-explanatory because anybody who has, you know, the slightest bit of knowledge of Nintendo, how they run their business, in general, when it comes to the home consoles, they like to launch them in the holiday window period, mainly around November time, which is roughly around the time of Black Friday over here in the States. I believe there were a few exceptions to the November launch rule, but you know, like I said, those are exceptions. So mark your calendars, in just over 2 months, Wii U hits on November 18th. Now on to the pricing. What's very interesting about this one is that there will be 2 SKUs available for the Wii U. The first SKU, which is going to be the baseline, the core SKU, comes with the Wii U game console, sporting 8 GB of internal memory, 1 Wii U gamepad, a sensor bar, AC adapter, and an HDMI cable. And that will run you $300. So it looks like anybody who had the slightest bit of knowledge about Nintendo was right when it came to the pricing. So yay, we are all smart people. And the second SKU will include everything that came in the base model, but you also get more memory. Instead of 8 GB, it's now 32 GB. You get a cradle for the console, a stand for the gamepad, as well as a copy of Nintendo Land. That bundle will run you $350. Very competitively priced, I should say, when it comes to bundles. Usually I would have expected it to be at least $100 more, because when you look at the value you're getting in the bundle, Nintendo Land, the cradle, the stand, you know, that would probably run you all together maybe $100, maybe $70. But, you know, for the price of what I think Nintendo Land would be, you're getting more stuff in addition to more memory. So that's always a plus. I'm not sure if Nintendo Land will be sold retail as well as download. If it is going to be exclusive to this bundle, I think it will be sold retail as well, because not everyone is going to buy this bundle. As enticing as it is, some people just want to get the core model. So that's that. Honestly, I have to say that when it comes to the pricing, it's very competitively priced, especially for a bundle. And when compared to the current competition, Sony and Microsoft, yeah, that they really got the jump on them, because it's roughly the same price and this is new technology. So I expect within the next couple months they will both drop the prices of their consoles. I think the PS3 will come down to $200 and the Xbox will be free at this point. So if Sony and Microsoft really want to get a heads up on Nintendo, then they're going to have to, think fast. They're going to have to announce their next consoles within the next 18 months, I should say, because if this thing really does kick off the way Nintendo wants, and people, both gamers and the public, or should I say core gamers and the casuals, if they really, get used to this and they really like it, then that's going to put Microsoft and Sony at a big disadvantage, especially in this economy. So to Sony and Microsoft, both of y'all bring your A game for the next E3. I don't want to see no Usher dancing on stage or another Wonderbook fiasco. Hey, I'm in a very dark place right now. I just wanted to tell you guys that. For other regions of the world, the Wii U will launch in Europe on November 30th, which is just a little over a week after the Americas get it, and it launches in Japan on December 8th. So thankfully it's all within the same 2-3 week time span. You don't have to wait a couple of months in between, so that's pretty nice. Now let's move on to the miscellaneous things, the games, the features, as well as the online network. First on the agenda, let's talk about Nintendo TV. I don't really want to spend too much time on this, mainly because, it's honestly self-explanatory. It's what you expect. It's essentially Nintendo's answer to the multimedia hubs that we have nowadays. TVs, game consoles, computers, smartphones. Essentially any platform that has the ability to access things like Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Video, DVR stuff, that's essentially going to be on the Wii U. You're going to be able to watch live TV and record it at the same time, play it back. You don't have to, just tune into something and you have to wait until it's over for you to rewind or to catch a rerun. You can just rewind it and watch it whenever you want. So that is a great feature. And I actually like that it's all in one place. You don't have to swap from different applications. You can just do everything on the fly. There's also going to be some online interactions with both your Me friends and the Facebook friends. So you'll be able to see recommendations of what people like. And it was actually pretty cool that Reggie Fils Aime is a fan of Breaking Bad, which I recently just got into. I watched the first 10 episodes. So far, it's alright. I like it. It's not bad. But, whatever. That's another story for another day. So Nintendo TV, like I said, is pretty self-explanatory. It's what you'd expect, a multimedia hub for various video streaming services. Who knows what the future may bring for this. Maybe they'll amp it up and do something more, but for the time being, pretty freaking sweet. Nintendo also has come out and revealed some of the specs for the system. Granted, these aren't the entire, it's not the full list, it's not detailed, but, it's just a general, you know what the hell I'm freaking saying. So of course the system will support full 1080p visuals. The GPU that they're going to be using is an AMD GPU, which I'm not going to get into right now. The system will support 2 GB of RAM. Very interesting about this one is that 1 GB will be dedicated for straight video games, and the other gigabyte will be dedicated towards the system interface, the OS, all of that stuff. So as long as there isn't a laggy OS like the Sony's XMB, then I'm perfectly fine. The game discs will also support 25 gigabytes of data, so for any Kojimas out there who want to take advantage of all that space, you have the ability to do so now. And a little, reconfirming, of course, there is going to be backwards compatibility with your Wii games, your Virtual Console titles, and of course, WiiWare titles. Let's move on to the video games. Of course, they were showing us things that we've already seen before. They wanted to add more emphasis since we're getting closer to the launch, mainly being Nintendo Land, which, I know people got into the habit of thinking that I hate on Nintendo Land, when I really don't. I just felt that they spent way too much time on it for the conference, and they weren't really showing the good aspects of it, you know what I'm saying? So I think that it'll be a fun game, here and there, a fun casual title, and I wouldn't mind playing it every now and then, but it shouldn't have been a game that you spent like literally 20-30 minutes on. Around the amount of time they spent on that was still way too long. So they showed a bit more of that, so that's alright. They also brought Activision onto the stage, and Activision was talking about their releases on the Wii U this fall. Wipeout, 007 Legends, Skylanders Giants, which was freaking huge. They don't even call it Spyro anymore, it's just Skylanders Giants. I don't know why they called it Spyro in the first place. It's not like Spyro is going to sell anything, because it's not freaking Spyro anymore. Sadly, I miss Spyro and Crash. Activision, what the fuck? Why'd you have to butt rape them? I don't know. The funniest thing about Activision being on there was that they brought Black Ops 2 onto the stage, and I know Nintendo's trying to get the core gamer in it. So, hey, core gamer, you like video games? You must love Call of Duty. Come play it on our system because you can have the map that's on the top left corner on your gamepad. So now you're just going to have to look down. So that millisecond you look down, yeah, you could already get your ass killed. I don't see why people are hyping up Black Ops on the Wii U. It's going to be so innovative and different. Guys, this is Treyarch we're talking about. Guys, this is Call of Duty here. It's not going to be that innovative. It is the same damn thing across every single platform. The same damn thing. Graphics are the same. Stop hyping it up. Stop hyping it up. You can hype up the game, sure, but you can't hype up like the difference between the systems. It's ridiculous. Now, I will say this, though. This was a great use of the Wii U, the gamepad, which is, like I said, self-explanatory. If you are playing split screen online, no longer are the screens split in half. One person can play on the gamepad and one person can play on the TV. So that is great, especially if you're going to be playing online with a couple of buddies and you want to bring your friend over. You want a +1, so just hand him the gamepad and he can play it. You can pop in your classic controller Pro or Wii U Pro controller, whatever it's called. You can just play there. So I think that that is a great addition and a great use of the controller. In regards to new game announcements, there weren't that many, mainly because this isn't a conference for them to be bringing out their A game when it comes to the video game department. It was just to confirm things that everybody wants to know when it comes to the system itself. But the one game in particular from E3 that got a lot of hype, which was Project P100 from the guys over at Platinum Games, they have announced the official title. Of course, P100 was a working title. It is now called The Wonderful 101. I believe that is what the name is. Let me double check. Yes, The Wonderful 101. Pretty interesting title. Nonetheless, the game does look, you know, I haven't seen enough of it to judge it, and I haven't even played it for myself, but if it's available at Comic-Con, and I do have the ability to go to Comic-Con, I'll definitely try it out, maybe demo it and give my thoughts on it. But, you know, it's Platinum Games. They've never really steered me wrong before, so it'll probably be a good title. And also, from Capcom, they have confirmed that a Monster Hunter title will be appearing on the system. Launching in 2013, Monster Hunter Ultimate 3 or 3 Ultimate or Unlimited, I don't know what the hell it's called. I'm not the biggest Monster Hunter fan out. Monster Hunter is definitely one of the most popular franchises, especially in Japan, so I think that if Nintendo plays their cards right with the advertising and they want to build up momentum for the Wii U, Monster Hunter is a perfect fit because Japan loves Monster Hunter. You see how much they eat that shit up on PSP, you know, and they had Try on the Wii, which didn't do too well in sales, but, you know, Nintendo, do it right this time. You can get that entire crowd on the Wii U. It will also be available on the 3DS, so that's the handheld market right there. So if they can get the handheld and the console market, I believe they said there would be some features like cross importation, something like that. I know it's not going to be cross multiplayer, obviously, but something to do with, I think, the story mode. Maybe you can continue it on one system and go on to the other system. I don't know. Mainly something like that in terms of compatibility. Yeah, I guess that for Monster Hunter, it'll be great to be able to play it on consoles with, you know, an actual good online service. Speaking of the online, we'll cover that a bit more later. And now on to the biggest surprise of the show. Platinum Games revealed Bayonetta 2, and that it will be exclusive for the Nintendo Wii U. Now, I know all the niggas in the room, they be thirsty. They be going crazy when they heard this. It's like, my fucking god, why Bayonetta 2, why? I can see why people get rubbed the wrong way. Bayonetta, I have not actually gotten the chance to play the game outside of the demo. It has become one of the more, I would say cult classic, but not really because it's not that old. I'd say, you know, it has a considerable fan base, you know, when it comes to numbers. So I guess people were eagerly anticipating a sequel, be it this generation or next generation, whenever. But the fact that it's coming to Wii U, on one hand, it's very good for Nintendo because it's another third-party title. And also, if there are the diehard Bayonetta fans out there, they will be more inclined to purchase this because it's Bayonetta. It's the sequel to one of their most favorite games this gen. But on the other hand, I could see why people are mad because, you know, they don't want to have to buy a whole new system for another game, which is understandable. Personally, if I was Platinum, and if I were in their shoes, I would have launched this across all 3 next-gen systems and taken advantage of the hardware on each. Whatever, that's not what's going to happen. They might port it at some particular moment. Yeah, for the time being, it's Wii U exclusives, but still interesting nonetheless. The game really wasn't too much of a smash hit. You know, it got pretty good reviews, but I don't even think it sold around 2 million copies. I think it was like 1.7, 1.8. So I think that Ubisoft and Platinum Games are in the same position. Maybe Nintendo threw money their way to put Rayman Legends exclusively on the Wii U, or maybe it's just because they want to build up the hype and momentum, saying, hey, our next game is on the Wii U, so go buy the Wii U! There were a couple of little things here and there in regards to the conference. I believe there were some, like, if you bought the Nintendo Wii U Deluxe Edition, you get like some eShop points, something going on like there. I didn't really care much for that. I was mainly concerned on the price. But on to the one thing that maybe I missed it, maybe they didn't talk about it, I'm not sure, because I was watching this press conference at school on my break. So I was, doing homework, studying, and then looking back at the screen, what did it talk about. So I might have missed it, but there really wasn't much emphasis on the Nintendo Online Network. I expected them to go hard on that because that is the one thing that the majority of people are wondering. What are you going to do with this online? You want to bring in the core gamer, and in this day and age where everybody's so connected with the internet online, you're not going to put any focus on it. Yes, we know there is going to be online because Monster Hunter is going to play online, Nintendo Land is going to play online, I think. You have to have emphasis on it. You should have came out strong, debuted some of the features, all of that stuff. If this is going to be as lackluster and non-existent as the Nintendo Wi-Fi connection, Nintendo, you're really backing yourselves into the same corner that you were in 6 years ago, and I really don't want you to be in that situation again. You're saying you want to do all these things, which is promising, but you just maybe time will tell. As we get closer to the launch, they might detail more, but for the time being, it's just, it's like, there's so much good with the Wii U, yet there's so much, an equal amount of not as good information, because I don't know, maybe Nintendo will wow us. I don't really know. But yeah, you guys, that was pretty much my summary wrap of the conference itself. Overall, I thought it was it was pretty good. It definitely told me what I wanted to know, and I'm glad to see that Nintendo is getting more third parties on the system that aren't ports, that aren't doing ports of games that came out like a year ago or something. So that is good to see. Bayonetta 2, and of course more Monster Hunter and Project P100, now titled It's the Wonderful 100. Pricing for the system is very good. It's pretty competitive when compared to today's standards, and we're generally going to have to wait and see how well the system does. I don't think I'm going to pick one up at launch. I might get one for Christmas, I'm not sure, mainly because of how enticing the price point is. Just get a $350 bundle and you get a free game and stuff. But if I don't get it for Christmas, I'll probably pick it up into next year when I can see exactly where the system is going, see what games they come out with. And if at next year's E3 Nintendo can wow me with more first-party titles such as the new Zelda game, Metroid, Donkey Kong, praying for an Earthbound, Star Fox, and of course F-Zero, then I will take back everything I said at this conference. Well, I won't take everything back. I'll just say that I'll forgive you for announcing 3 Mario games at one conference. 3 games featuring a plumber at one conference. What do you guys think of this mini conference Nintendo had? Post your comments and video responses below. From me to you for now, I'm NGS signing out, and like always, I will catch you guys later. Peace.